one more portion of that is we had a young customer when we had our food trailer, and she was going through chemotherapy over at Le Bonheur in St. Jude over Memphis. And my mother-in-law's banana pudding was about the only thing that she would eat because she was having a hard time with her chemo. And man, she would come every other day because her mom told me this was the only thing that she eat. Oh, every time she showed up, I was like, had it ready. Just here. The valuable things of that in life was way more valuable than a grand. I'm just telling you. And I don't want to get choked up about it, but it is the truth. I was living in people's lives, and it was amazing.
Mango ham barbecue, mango ham barbecue, mango ham barbecue, mango ham barbecue. Get your barbecue on. Get your barbecue.
Ever notice how the sound of sizzling meat and the smell of smoke can silence the noise of the world? Now that's BBQ Therapy. If the fire moves you, like, subscribe, share, and help spread the message because growth, like good barbecue, takes time and patience. Welcome to your therapy session. Welcome to the BBQ Therapy Podcast. My name is Tavis Bryant, and today I'm joined by Jason Cottingham and Miss Tiffany in her absence from Trauma Hogs BBQ, a name that carries weight for a reason. They've lived through the high pressure world of trauma medicine and brought that same resilience, intensity, and discipline to the world of barbecue. From food trucks and catering to award-winning barbecue and product lines, they built a brand that's bold as their name. This is about more than food. It's about healing, sacrifice, and building something that lasts. Let's dig in. Welcome to the show. I got one rule: make yourself at home and speak freely.
Man, I don't know how I can respond to that intro. That's an amazing intro. Thank you.
No problem. You never know how much you do until somebody tell you.
I know. You did your homework, man. I love
it. When I hear you speaking, I know that just by listening that you're an expert in what you do as far as catering and food trucks and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, I got to have you on so you can educate some people that may need to have tips and show where you started to where you're at now and stuff like that, and let them know that they're on the fence about starting something. Just jump out there and try. You never know what will happen.
Yeah. So that I'll go back and tell our story real quick, but we're nurses for a long time, both me and Tiffany both. COVID happened, and it's funny what happens in life, especially during that COVID time. I was already doing some competition stuff, already got a place at the shed. I think I got sixth in ribs right before that. And then COVID hit, boom, and shut everything down. I'm a nurse, ER nurse. That's where the Trauma Hogs comes from, trauma nurse. And we had to go back and punt just a little bit. This was before our barbecue business. So we traveled. We both worked in California during that time, met amazing friends out there. And man, I come back and bought a Southern Dimensions trailer and went to work. And man, I was just so nervous. That leap of going from nursing and having that safety cushion of regular income and opening up a food trailer and hope somebody shows up. They did show up. Let me tell you, they did show up.
But let's take it back a little bit. So how did y'all get into trauma medicine? What made you get into trauma medicine?
Well, I have a history of medicine. Man, I've worked as an EMT. I was a volunteer fireman going back lots and lots of years. I was also a sheriff's deputy and a SWAT medic for a while.
Oh, wow.
And I already had a background of medicine and went to nursing school. And that's where we ended up. Tiffany was one of the managers where we worked at. And we met there and never looked back, man.
You're flirting on the job, huh?
Crazy stuff.
You're flirting on the job.
I was flirting on the job. She was my trainer. Let's just get real about it. So she trained me, and then she became my work wife, and now she's my real wife.
All right. So how did the transition go from, so you just up and just decided to stop the trauma medicine and just jump into the food truck? How did that transition?
So I was already doing competition stuff. I had a huge amount of friends that was doing competition stuff. So we're really, my hometown is in Jonesboro, Arkansas, which is really close to Memphis. Memphis in May is a big deal there. I already knew about it, been to it. I never competed in it, but did smaller KCBS events. SCAs were big during the time.
Mhm.
And yeah, got into doing the competition. And all it takes is one little place. You get a place at a competition, man, and you get the bug. And went back. And this is literally how the business started. I was doing competitions and leftover stuff I would bring into the hospital where I worked
Mhm.
at, and I would feed everyone at night because I worked weekends. And man, everyone would tell me their best. I would say, here's free food. Just really honestly tell me what you think about it. Don't, even though it's free, don't just tell me what I want to hear. Actually tell me if you like it or don't, or what could I do to make better. So I honed in on that, got to determining what people liked, what flavor profiles were popular in our area.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, COVID happened and refined some more stuff. I was already a little bit before COVID, I was cooking stuff for friends and family. I was bringing so much to the hospital. They were like, hey, can you do my brother's wedding? Or hey, can you do this or do that? It was always something. And COVID happened, made that money, came back and bought that food trailer, and I never looked back. And so glad we got a Southern Dimensions trailer. It was a turnkey, and man, immediately, I want to give them a plug because they make an amazing trailer. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but they make the best food trailer out there, in my opinion. And the reason why I say that is because that trailer was built from the ground up. It was never in an enclosed trailer. It was built a frame.
Mhm.
They laid out all the restaurant equipment on the inside of it by our CAD design. And I took that CAD design and took it to the health department. They immediately okayed it. They were like, there's only two of these trailers in the state of Arkansas. Immediately okayed it and then went right to work. So there's value in that. Yes, it costs a little more than a normal food trailer, but you can literally say, I can pull it in somewhere and go right to work. So there was
Yeah.
value in that. And
So
it was a gorgeous trailer, jet black. It drew a crowd because of what it was. And I really truly believe of what it was, it brought customers to us.
mm.
We had great food and great customer service, but the look of it also brought customers also.
Let me ask a couple competition. What
You want to
smoke?
know about the food truck industry? I can fill you in on that.
That's good. All right, let's talk a little bit about the competition and then jump into that. So, what smokers were you cooking on at the time?
I've had so many, man. Like during the time of the competitions, gateway drums. That
Oh,
was the thing. That's the thing. It's always been a thing, and it's because they're so portable. Very in the very beginning, everyone I was running around with was using the bigger stuff. I'm gonna go like way back, but we were like using hickories
hmm
even before pellet grills. Those were hard to lug around. You had to have an enclosed trailer to lug around. Then immediately everyone caught on to the gateways because you could throw them in the back of your truck, have a pop up tent, show up at the morning of the event, and guess what? You're cooking and knocked out and done and out of there. And I
yeah.
think that's and it makes a really good barbecue.
I know I mention this every episode, but he don't realize what he came up with when he invented that drum. He made so many people career and
Oh,
made so many people life easier by the drum.
dude, there's no telling how many grand champions, there's no telling how many reserves and how many places. It's just something about that live fire and the circulation of the drippings hitting the charcoal just brings that flavor right back to that protein. And judges love it and customers love it. I never did cook or commercial stuff on a drum because of the volume, but on competition wise, I will tell you, I did use at the American Royal on our poultry turn ins like turkey and stuff like that. I did use a pellet grill, Smoking Brothers pellet grill, Premier 30. And I think a lot of people would do chicken on pellet grills, but drum was the way to go because I was literally just show up with a tent in my truck.
And what drew you into the competition world? Was it trophies, the money, or just the
I had some
community.
friends. I had some friends that did it, and it was the camaraderie. Actually, went to a competition downtown Jonesboro. Me and my friend went and checked it out. I'm like, man, this could actually be fun. We could come hang out, cook some barbecue, and see how it turns out. That snowballed into a lot of stuff, man. Just the camaraderie of hanging out with friends. It wasn't
And
even the draw of even winning. It was more just I want something. I want a hobby where I can hang out and cook some
yeah.
barbecue.
And was your wife with you during competing?
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah,
done competitions with me. She's just as good as a cook as I am, probably better. And she always went with me. It's
that's what I
cool.
was saying. That's the best
Hang all
person to
the
have
kids.
in the truck is your spouse because they
Yeah,
know you the best and they
yeah,
know when you're frustrated, aggravated. They know how to get you back in the game, and
yeah.
so he's definitely the best person to have.
I had a really
Do.
good friend that helped us start the business. He was into it too, and he was an amazing cook. And
Mhm.
I drew into it because of him too.
And when y'all came up with the name Trauma Hogs, did y'all have any hesitation due to
I
the
did, man.
idea?
I did. I can remember sitting at the hospital. I worked in a specialty area, and I remember at night I was coming up with names of teams, and it just that sounded right. But then I was like, people are gonna have a weird vibe about that because they're gonna think. And I've had so many people say stuff like weird stuff. It's because we were trauma nurses. And yes, you're right. I was worried about it, but after a while, I was like, that's the name for it. So
Actually, like the barbecue team is kind of, I don't know if you ever watch wrestling, but it's like wrestling team. This is our wrestling personas that you come
yeah,
up with, and that's who we are. That's who you are when you compete, and
I'm gonna be
everybody.
honest with you. If you go to a competition like the American Royal or Memphis in May, and they start running down the places and award ceremonies, some of those names are not very kid friendly either.
Yeah, I will be at the Royal this year, so I'm gonna walk
So
around.
some of them didn't bother me too bad because I heard some of them other names. I was like, "Oh, we're fine. Trust me, we're good."
I like it. It's catchy,
Yeah,
and that's what y'all did.
yeah. We were nurses. If you look at the logo behind me, it's got a bandage on its head.
I love it.
Inspired team. So
So it's catchy. So I like the whole logo.
yeah.
Thought of. All right.
No, I was just going to tell you. Even coming up with the logo, this was pre AI anything. A graphic designer that I knew drew that. That's like a pre. That logo's hand drawn. So
Yeah, that's how it is. The ones behind my head, I had sketched it on a paper a long time ago. My wife had saw it when I was moving, and she was like, "What is this?" I was like, "That was my logo, the barbecue." She was like, "What are you doing with it?" I was like, "Nothing right now. I was thinking about starting a barbecue business or
yeah,
computer." She was like, "What is it gonna hurt?" So I was like, "You're right." So I went on Fiverr and got somebody to computerize it, and
yeah.
here we go.
I will say, I want to tell you one short story.
Go
You
ahead. It's your show.
anyway, see that logo right there on that hat? I don't know if you've met Ryan Kane yet. He's an amazing cook. I'm talking amazing cook. He has a damn fine beef and swine out of Kansas City. He reserved the Royal not last year, the year before, and he's a graphic designer also. He came up with that logo for us on our hats. And the running joke is everyone asks me what that logo is, and a woman come up to me and she goes, "Does that say thick?" No, it doesn't say thick. Yeah, funny story. I've told Ryan a million times. But
Thick. All right. And when did Trauma Hogs go from a passion project to a brand that you knew you had to take seriously?
coming back from working in California, we made this rub. Let's talk about this. This is kind of part of the thing too. But I was making rub at the house, hand making
Mhm,
it, selling at the hospital where I worked at, and I knew because the volume was high on it, I couldn't keep up with the volume of selling it,
mhm,
so I had to eventually get it co-packed. But out in California, people was demanding our rub. They was demanding me to do catering still when I came back to Arkansas,
mhm.
and finally just made a choice. Hey, I'm going to try to order this food trailer and see how it goes, and then just took off from there. Man, the catering business was its own business too, which we can talk about later. But this was probably part of it. We actually had a barbecue rub too, This is the main seller. It's shameless plug, but it's won tons of awards and all kind of stuff. It's just, you think it's just a simple SPG, but I think we sold like 42 cases in Kansas City last weekend. So
That's excellent.
yeah, a lot of
But
winners.
yeah. And early on, what were some of the hardest sacrifices that you had to make to build the brand? Was it time,
Yeah,
money, family? What?
absolutely, man. That's probably the common denominator of all small businesses is a fine line between building your brand awareness, building your business, and time with your family. And I'm guilty of it. And this is the honest truth, man. It took a lot of hours. It took my friends hours. It took a lot of family hours because they worked with us also.
Mm.
I can remember at one point we were working 16 hours a day, 17 hours a day, 7 days a week just to keep up with volume. And I've got the perfect analogy. I asked Brad Leininger with Getting Basted one time. He came to Jonesboro and we were talking restaurant business. There's a fine line between quality, really good quality, and family time. You kind of have to meet it in the middle. You have to bring that quality down where you can get more family time and just find a middle space. I think that was probably the most perfect analogy because I was like up here high quality and low down here family time because I never seen my family, never seen my boys or Ashlyn. And looking back, should have adjusted it a different way. But yeah, it took a lot.
Yeah,
Took a
definitely.
personal sacrifice of myself, my wife, my family, and it took a lot.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this podcast because I was like, at the beginning of the day, I'm a father, so I got an 18-month-old, and
Yeah,
barbecue will still be there when it's time. So I'll wait until she gets up in age and then get out there. And in the meantime, I just do this podcast and get my barbecue fixed this way. I was like, I'm not going to miss out. And next thing you know, she's 18 and missed everything.
you're right. And part of Ashlyn's thing is most of the time that I got two older sons, and the only time they would see me and Tiffany is if they were at the restaurant. Yes, they ended up working there with us, but that's about the only time we spend time together and couldn't do stuff with outside of that. And that's where you need to hone in on that. So,
And you run a food truck and you cater to events. What's the best part of serving people that way?
oh man. So this is another analogy, but
Go
the
ahead.
food service is like a gamble. Catering's not so much. Matter of fact, catering's pretty profitable. So we separated our business where we had catering and our we call it everyday sales. And the everyday sales were like a gamble every day. It was dependent on weather. It was dependent on what's going on in town. It's dependent on school's out, Christmas break, summer break. So it's really a roll of the dice every day. Yes, you can run analytics, and which we did, and I could tell you what seasonalities things were happening. But man, looking back, our catering business was strong. The deal with the catering business is not the gamble because you're going to get paid on it. It's just a matter of volume. But the whole restaurant business is a high risk, high rewards game. And I learned a lesson on it. And I was never a restaurateur. I was just a nurse. So I learned a lot of hard lessons.
Just trial and error.
That's right. A lot of trial and error.
All right. People see long lines and great food, but they don't actually see the grind behind it. What's something about running a food truck or a restaurant that most people would never believe until they lived it?
They probably wouldn't believe of getting up at 12 o'clock at night. They probably wouldn't believe getting DMs at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, can you do a 200 person wedding tomorrow? They probably wouldn't believe up hours in the day and night. But there's a lot of positives in there too. They probably
Mhm.
wouldn't believe that I catered at Arrowhead for a bunch of VIP customers for the Chiefs. They probably wouldn't believe that me and Tiffany was NASCAR. We did an all-star race in North Wilkesboro on the interior of the racetrack. And I've done a lot of things that's crazy in the
Mhm.
barbecue industry. And I never would have done that in the nursing industry, which I do love. I still love the nursing and medical and all that stuff, but a lot of late nights. And
Target.
at one point, I was like, I've got to shut off the DMs and the messenger because it's a constant inflow, just all hours, day and night.
If you don't rest, your body will force you to rest.
Right.
All
And that
right.
was the world's worst of picking. And the people that worked with us will tell you I was the world's worst. I took almost everything that I could take. If something came in and it was last minute, man, I tried to accommodate every customer that we had. The body paid the price, man.
All right. And when you're chasing a passion for barbecue, it's easy to burn out. How do you balance the love of cooking for people with the mental and physical toll that comes from the day to day running your own operation?
That's a tough one. That's a good question. It's a battle every day. And man, when you're working 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, you find time I would find time I just have to walk out and get a breather. I'd go out to our smokehouse. Actually, our smokehouse was the breather. And my dad ran our pits for a while. And I'd go out there and talk to him. And it takes a toll, brother. I'm telling you.
Because you had the restaurant and the food truck at the same time?
Yeah, I actually had two. We had the food trailer. We had a restaurant. We had a hybrid, which was in another town with a commissary kitchen, an office, and a warehouse.
Mm.
It actually handled our catering, but it also had daily stuff too. So technically, it was a full restaurant, hybrid restaurant, and we had our catering business, and of course, our rub business. And then it got to a point where we were handling wholesale stuff for other barbecue brands. I was handling their logistics, handling like their storage stuff in our warehouse. Yeah, I was dabbling in all different areas. Not just being in a restaurant would probably burn you out, but we was doing 10 different things, 10 different revenue streams. So we really got burnt out.
Golly. That's crazy. All right. And every pitmaster has a moment where they wonder, is it worth it? What were some of the toughest moments in the business that almost made you walk away?
I can remember we got a phone call from one of the hospitality groups. I was telling you about that NASCAR race. And it was short notice. It was probably like 2 or 3 days notice. And when a deal like that comes, you got to kind of just try to figure it out. And we did.
Mhm.
And I can remember me and Tiff drove, I think we were in Knoxville, Tennessee, because we was driving to North Carolina. We got to a hotel. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and the hotel wouldn't take us. And we had reservations. And I looked at her. I'm like, we're wore out. We've already drove 12 hours. And now we got to drive another 6. And I can remember sleeping we had a transit van, a company transit van. I'm like, what are we doing here? We're sleeping in the parking lot of a hotel. But I'm telling you, when I got there, I got a boost of energy because I seen everything that was going on. And there's a lot of pre-orders in there so during the Christmas seasons and Thanksgiving seasons, we'd have pre-orders. We'd have massive lists of everything that we were putting out.
Mm.
And there's a lot of times I question, why are we doing this? It drove us crazy. And it drove the
Definitely.
people working with us crazy, I'm sure. So
Yeah, I definitely understand that.
I
'Cause
can remember every time doing a pre-order, Thanksgiving or Christmas, everyone was like, please don't do that again. And of course, what do we do? Because the emails and messaging would come in. Are y'all doing a pre-order? Sure. The yes man. I was the yes man. That got me in trouble.
Definitely. And those NASCAR events, I didn't know. I knew a lot of people go, but I didn't know that many people would be at those events because
What?
when Tim Shear came out to Atlanta, asked them to come and just experience what they do. So they were handing out the barbecue sauce as well as
Yeah,
cooking
yeah.
samples of sausage and stuff so people can try the sauce. And man, nonstop from 11 o'clock to 6:30, just handing out stuff and talking to people. I was like,
I got a great story, man. We was in the interior of that, and I worked for an amazing company, and I still work for this company called Tailgreeter.
hmm
They're a company out of Chicago. They do tailgate events and large scale VIP events, and almost every ball game you can think of, they do tailgates for that. And they're the ones that brought us out. And we was in line, and it was a really good line. So if you've had a serving line before, you can have them super packed in there. You're trying to get through, move through, and this line was perfect. It was like 10 people would come, you could get to talk to them, and then 10 more. It was just perfect. Anyway, a gentleman came up, and I was trying to make conversation with everyone in there. And just to be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot of folks in that industry. I know the big names, but I didn't know everyone there. And I leaned over and I asked this gentleman, I'm like, where are you from? And he told me somewhere in North Carolina. And the line was moving on, and his wife stopped, and she whispered at me, she goes, this is Dale Jr.'s brother. And it's Kerry Earnhardt, so it was. Anyway, we fed all kinds of people I probably don't even know. And he got done eating. I gave him a thumbs up. Kind of, was that good? And he was like, yeah, he came over. And I was like, hey, can I get a picture with you? He goes, man, I was going to ask you if I get a picture with you. So it really made me feel good. And Earnhardt asked for a picture of me. I'm just a barbecue guy.
Exactly.
He's like, yeah, I took your banana pudding, which was very popular, over to Dale. It was an amazing experience.
That's how it was when I met Tim. I had my barbecue therapy t-shirt. I haven't started the podcast. He was like, oh, you got a podcast? Can I be on your podcast? I went home immediately, and that's when I started the podcast. Got it together.
Kind of like Malcolm. Malcolm, his is from the area that we're from, and I seen him in a competition one time. I said, hey, man, talk to you a minute. And we was talking about that and I knew what his mom did. And man, just that short conversation led into a relationship with those guys and how to barbecue right guys. Swine Life guys, which led into still friends with Heath and all the players. But I got a good story about that too. But as soon as this rub was made, it went to the co-packer. And I was just so happy, man. My first rub, I cannot wait to show someone. Malcolm's office is right around the corner from where our co-packer is. And I went over there and I had a whole truckload. There was a pallet load in the back of my truck. I carried a case in and I was talking to Mark and Jamie Williams of Swine Life. And he heard I was up there and he goes, oh, Jason, let's look at this bottle. So he was looking at this bottle and he's, man, that label looks so good. That's a popping label right there. That's going to pop out on the shelves. But man, that co-packer had this SPG label and our barbecue rub in it. And I was just like, my heart just sunk. He didn't even see it. And I said, let me have that bottle back. Anyway, I was heartbroken because this was the first thing. A whole pallet load of this was ran with the barbecue rub in and the SPG label. Knowing Malcolm, he got on the phone and called over there because he uses the same place. And man, I took that pallet over there, and about 3 days later, they got fixed. Which they're good folks anyway too. And I'll never forget that first person to even see that bottle, and then it was Malcolm Reed. So.
Oh wow, that's good. That's good. He one of the big dogs in the game, so an endorsement from him, it means a lot,
It
as
did.
well as Mark Williams right there too.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good that people are seeing your product and know that it's good.
Yeah.
All right. And if you can go back and tell yourself one lesson about the restaurant, food truck, and catering business, what would it be? If you can
Oh,
rewind back to the
oh
beginning.
my goodness, man. That's it's a multi-pronged thing there. I would probably say to separate myself from the business. And that sounds dumb, but I was the
Well,
person that was always in the trenches too. I wanted a person that was working for us feel like that I wasn't too good to do anything either. And I just wanted to come across that way because I really truly felt that way. And probably one of the problems with our issue or our business was pulling away from that. And if I could have just pulled away from that just a little bit and focused more on what was going on and running in our business, it would have really took off even further. There was a lot of times Tiff would be like, hey, she would call me and I would be working, I'd be chopping brisket and making sandwiches, all kinds of stuff. And she'll call me and say, hey, I need you to come down to our other store. And when I'd get down there, it was just because she wanted me to take a break and breathe and
gotcha.
actually do business stuff. There's a business side of it. I always wanted to be in the middle of it. And I wanted great customer service. And I loved every one of our customers, man. And you could tell because sometimes when I wasn't there at one of the restaurants, it would dip down just a little bit, like sales for the day or something. Even though the folks that worked there were amazing, it's just they wanted to see me, man. And that was probably one of the downfalls. That and not being able to pull away, and that was my own fault. That was my own blame because I wanted to be right in the middle of it. I
So
love cooking brisket. I love cooking all the things. I want to be in the middle of cooking it. I want to be in the
mhm.
middle of serving it and making people happy. That's what makes me happy in life. My grandma, I learned to cook from her. That's the way she was, and I got it from her.
Hey, that's barbecue therapy.
That's
That's
right.
how I am. You got a good wife because my wife do the same thing. All right, you got to take a break. You can't save the world all in 1 week.
Yep.
Yep. So I listen to her, and sometimes I be hard headed, but this is what I love. This is my release from every day. It's worth it to me because, like, when I do during the week, I do this from 8:30 to 9:30 because that's when the kids settle down and I get them to sleep. But
Yep.
also, I have to get up the next morning at 3:45 and go to work. But I love barbecue that much, and I love getting people's story out and pushing the barbecue nation to everybody because I love the barbecue community because they was so nice to me and welcoming. And I haven't even cooked the competition yet. I went to classes and I walked around, but I met so many people that I was like, "This is awesome."
It is, and you will find later on, and I'm sure you already know, but so many people will help you, man. I can make a phone call if I had an issue with anything of any other barbecue person, and anyone would answer a question. I can remember going to competitions and like one of the best things to do too is go to in the National Barbecue Association.
I'm going next year.
Yes, I think Bill said the other day the next one's going to be in Nashville. I
Hmm.
recommend it. We actually went to the one in Fort Worth. We had our trailer there, and we served barbecue to everyone there. That
Wow.
was really weird too, serving barbecue to Brad and Brooke and Mo Son and all these other folks. And this is no lie. Mo came back and got barbecue. You would think these people burn out a bit. That's crazy.
Yeah, I
But what I
just
was getting at is Brad and Brooke and anyone there, they're like, hey, here's my personal number. If you got issues, please reach out to us. And I have. And that's what I really love about the barbecue industry and the camaraderie of folks. And I have done, it's all teamwork. It's even to now, I've still partnered up with other barbecue brands,
hmm
including this one, shameless plug. If you don't know Josh DeWitt, you need
Josh
to learn
DeWitt.
that guy. And me and him are the best of friends, and I promote his stuff just like he promotes mine.
Yeah, I look for. I'm
That's
gonna
what's
try
good
to.
about this whole business. So,
Connections.
yeah,
And one connection will lead to two more connections,
it
and then two
does.
more connections, and there you go.
I'll tell you
All
one
right.
more story. I got full stories, dude. You got the right person on this podcast. I can
Hey,
tell
go
you.
for it. It's your show.
So we got a friend of ours that was a really good cook. He's a really good barbecue comp cook.
Hmm.
And he was friends with Josh DeWitt. And he messaged me and he's like, hey, I'm from Chicago and I want to come to y'all's restaurant and learn how y'all operate like restaurant stuff. He was already doing great stuff in the competition world. Started in backyard and all that stuff. And that's
Hmm.
Brian Calhoun with Wheezes. He's an amazing cook, man. But as the years have progressed, man, his barbecue game is next level. I'm good friends with him. We talk all the time. And I just want to give him a big shout out. He just got first in ribs at the Royal Oak Invitational. That's a big deal. If you know who was there, there's some major players
Yeah.
there. And I was driving back from Kansas City and he called me. And before I answered, I told Tiffany, I was like, man, I hope he won. And first words was, did you look at that picture I sent you? Oh, man, he sent me a picture of that first place ribs at the Royal Oak Invitational. Oh my goodness, he was so excited, and it's well deserved. He's an amazing guy, an amazing cook. He's going to go amazing places. He's going to be at the American Royal, and he's in fine company because he'll be with DeWitt and
Hmm.
Ryan Kane and Joel with Meat Rushmore and all those guys.
Yeah, because coincidences. I reached out to him for a show, but he said he was busy because of the Royal Oak and stuff like that. And I told him I was going to be at the American Royal, and he said come visit him because he was cooking with Josh DeWitt and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and told me what number. that he was going to be at, which is crazy.
You should. That's a good group of guys. I've cooked with a bunch of them before, and you should. They're gonna play something. I just know it because their food is exceptional, and they have the perfect flavor profiles, and their presentation is the best I've seen. There's a lot of amazing teams there. Matter of fact, I don't know if have you been to the Royal before?
No, this would be my first time.
Okay, it's an amazing experience because there's so many teams there. Especially as a podcast guy, you'll get tons of content there. You could run a podcast there. They do. And you'll get so many connections, business connections, friendships, and I recommend going. It's one of the
Yeah.
funnest comps there is at Memphis in May.
Yeah, Memphis May is good. I drag my wife up there and we meet a lot of people. But
Oh yeah,
the crazy thing about the American Royal is by the time this air, everybody will know, but I interviewed Artie Davis
yeah,
later on that night.
yeah.
He emailed me, "Would you like to be my guest for the Hall of Fame reception and ceremony?" I'm looking like, what?
Absolutely,
What?
absolutely. I want to.
You gotta ask twice.
On my schedule, I'm there.
So
Another individual that you need to meet. He's an amazing guy. Is Craig Verhage, the barbecue ninja. That guy's amazing, and we love him.
is
And
that the Royal Oak guy?
yeah, he's done a lot for us. He's done a lot for the barbecue industry. He's friends with Leslie with U-Bonds, and he's a great guy. Him and Bill Purvis too. I'm friends with Bill, and man, there's
I'm
so many.
trying to get.
I'm
I'm
scared to
trying.
even. I won't be honest with you. I'm scared to even drop a name on here because someone's gonna be like, "Well, you didn't mention me on this podcast."
You could
Oh,
drop them
you wait
and
and
drop their
see.
email address
You're
because
gonna get blowed up, dude.
drop the email address in my email. 'Cause I want as many people to have stories to come on and tell their stories from how they started. And because I remember before Bill was famous, I used to see him on YouTube videos cooking with somebody else. The guy from Aiming and Claiming Smokers, I used to see him go in the truck with him. And next thing you know, he was winning everything. But yeah, definitely. If you got some of the emails, definitely shoot them to me. And
Dude, Star, the Blazing Star, all those West Coast guys.
yeah, I met him at Memphis in May.
Yeah.
Mike Starr got a picture with him.
I'll tell you another amazing individual is Megan Day. We love Megan. And I'm going to stop there because, dude, I've got so many friends.
Definitely. That's what I tell people.
Todd.
For me, I like to be prepared. I do my homework. So when I meet people, I know everything about them and know them, and they'll be surprised. Like, man, you know a lot about me, and that's what get their attention and impress them because you do your homework. That's why I tell everybody, be
Yeah.
prepared for because you never know what situation you'll end up in, and if you don't have your stuff together, just like a catering or something like that, and they say how much for 200 people, and you be like, I got to get back with you instead of saying, okay, this is how much. You always got to be prepared.
Yeah. I have quoted out so many caterings, dude. I can tell you, I can run quick math on it just to. Weiss even still calls me, even though I don't know why. He's done so many caterings, but that's the camaraderie and that's the friendships that you build in this business because we bounce stuff off each other all the time. And just like DeWitt, I owe him a lot, man. He's got this rub in our business in so many places. And him and Jeremy both. Jeremy Williams, he's an amazing person. I got to stop. Ask me another question.
All right. I'm gonna read this stuff out that I seen on your Instagram. 2022 Best of NEA Catering Food Truck. 2023 Best of NEA Barbecue Catering and Food Truck. And 2023 JBR Premier Best Barbecue and Catering. How did it feel to get those honors?
Me and Weiss was talking about that a while back, and and Bill too. It feels really good to get those trophies. It feels amazing to get those grands and reserves and all the other stuff. Which personally, I haven't. I went down a different route. Went down the restaurant route. But to get accolades from a community that you're invested in, that's pretty powerful too. And I used to tell all my friends, I'm like, it's getting that type stuff is like getting big awards on the competition side. And dude, even the small things, we'd have customers that I still got it on my phone, man. Their son painted a thing at school and had Trauma Hogs all over it. And it's just that I think that's more valuable to me.
Mhm.
The first person that was in our restaurant was a good friend of mine, and he waited till we opened the restaurant so he'd have his birthday party there. That level of stuff, man, you can't. That's life stuff. You can't even make that stuff up. One more portion of that is we had a young customer when we had our food trailer, and she was going through chemotherapy over at Le Bonheur in St. Jude over
Mhm.
Memphis. And my mother-in-law's banana pudding was about the only thing that she would eat because she was having a hard time with her chemo. And man, she would come every other day because her mom told me this was the only thing that she eat. Oh, every time she showed up, I was like, had it ready. Just here. The valuable things of that in life was way more valuable than a grand. I'm just telling
Mhm.
you. And I don't want to get choked up about it, but it is the truth. I was living in people's lives, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
Still
that's
am.
the reason why we do it for people.
That's right.
It's a labor of love, and just to see people's reaction to something you did means a lot. Just what
And I could tell you so many stories, man, like that. The hospitals where we're from, dude. His daughter come up there. Hey, this is what he wanted. He's in hospice. Oh my gosh, they would tell me that stuff, and I would be, and it was true. And it was just an amazing feeling to be in someone's life like that. And I'm proud that we did what we did. And I'm still continuing it down here in Florida. So I love it down here.
yeah, it means a lot because sometimes, like when we do stuff, I was telling somebody you get frustrated sometimes, and
Oh,
just when you get
oh,
frustrated, you open up a Instagram or something like that, and you'll see a message from somebody and be like, "Hey, I love the show. Great job. You're doing good. Keep it up." And you be like, "Ah, I'm like 5 seconds away from clearing this desk off."
I would be working at 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody else sleep, and I'd be in our pit room dealing with whatever I was doing. And but man, if one of those stories I just told you just washed all that away, just took it all away. I can remember, and I told Tiffany during the time, I'm like, man, what? That was totally worth it, and made a difference in someone's life.
Trophies are nice, but making a difference in people's life, I mean, it does something on the inside to you that it's
I'll tell you, I've got another one, man. I was on the north side of town in Jonesboro, and I have never told this story besides my wife knows it, and I never told anyone because I didn't want me to come across a bad kind of way. But this is the truth. Someone came up to the trailer. I was the only one there. Sometimes I would just run the trailer by myself, and a car pulled up. A child got out and looked at our menu, and he walked back, and I was like, they didn't have the money for it. And I called the child back. I'm like, what do you want? And he was like, he was confused. He didn't know I was going to give it to him. Man, I just loaded him up like family packs and everything. I'm just shoveling out the window. I get, I just turned my back, and the mom looked at me in the car, and she was just like, "Thank you." Mm, can't make that stuff up. I've never even
exactly.
told anyone that story. You got the first on that, dude. I just I didn't want people to think bad about me, like I'm trying to get a sob story, but it's the truth. People
No,
need help, and I wanted to help people.
no, you need to tell stuff like this because that's what other people should be doing. If you got it, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to break you to share it with somebody, especially if they need it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And you'll get rewarded in the end, and that's why you're successful now because what you sowed into other people's lives is coming full circle,
dude,
and
I put that seed in the ground.
you need to tell that story and tell it. I mean, people gonna hear it now because it was a nice gesture, and ain't no telling what you might have did for that little boy when
Dude,
he think about that because he's gonna play it forward when he get older. I remember the guy that gave me the barbecue and stuff, and it changed my life because we didn't have. Yeah, so kudos to you.
yeah, the mom wanted to get out and say something. I'm like, don't. You don't have to. And she went on her way. And man,
And I love helping people and giving people information because it was so hard for me to get during the time I was trying to learn. I was like, let me find the easier way to give it to them and motivate them and hear other people's stories and knowing that they started somewhere and then work their way up. And I want people to think, hey, I can do it too, and get out there and at least try it. You may fail, but get back up, try it again.
right.
If exactly, you may fail 50 times, but 51 might be the time that you might hit it. So,
I love it.
exactly.
That's my
All right, let's sell some product. When you
oh yeah.
created your when you created your rubs, was it much of personal taste, or were you filling a gap at that time when you created your rubs?
Filling a gap with salt, pepper, garlic. Everybody got that. Yeah, I made it because I was doing competition stuff for myself. And this is literally how that SVG. It's got some other stuff in it other than salt, pepper, garlic. Everybody knows it because onion and all green onion in it, and there's some other stuff. But when I was in California, I was in a real fancy, eclectic area of chefs and all that stuff. I was in Northern
Mhm.
California, and I worked there during COVID. And I met tons of chefs, and I met one time and said, "Hey, have you ever thought about adding this?" I was like, "No, I don't even know about that." And called our co-packer back. I'm like, "Hey, put that in there in this increment, send it back." And dude, it changed it. It just changed the flavor profile of it. And yes, it says SPG on it, but I'm telling you, it's completely different. And all the comp teams in Kansas City run it. I can't tell you who all runs it. I can tell you, it's just won a bunch of stuff. Matter of fact, I was telling at our demo in Kansas City this weekend because you want to, if you're selling a product, you want to say, "Oh, it's won tons of awards, done this, done that." But on a product like this, I can't tell because a lot of people don't want people to know they're using it. I'm
Secretive.
just telling you, there's some notable people in the barbecue industry that,
Yeah, it may be simple at SPG, but all SPGs ain't the same.
yeah, it's the number one product. We have a barbecue rub, which we completely revamped. I'll just
Mhm.
tell you, I've announced it. We have a jalapeno SPG coming out. The
Oh, wow.
label is about finished up on it. Probably be out the first of the year. Our sauce is probably next in line.
Mhm.
People have, dude, Brad called me one time, Brad Orson with the shed, because they own the saucery down there too. They do co-packing on sauces. And he's, "Man,
Wow.
you let me make that trauma sauce." And at the time, I didn't have the resources to do it, but now I do. And probably going to be getting with him shortly on them making that. And then we have our barbecue. I have a lot of stuff coming, man. Now that I can spend more time on our rub game
Mhm.
and visit folks and go do stuff and actually go do a competition, I couldn't do that. And I'm excited to what Trauma Hogs has coming probably in the next year or so because we out hustling too. Matter of fact, Tiffany showed me the calendar. We're going to be, so we live in the Florida Panhandle. I live in Pensacola, actually Perdido Key. If you've ever been
Mhm.
to Orange Beach, Alabama, it's super close to that. And I looked at the calendar today, and it looks like every weekend we're at a farmer's market somewhere.
That's good.
Tiffany, we're at a festival every weekend. Yeah, holiday markets. So we have a thing, a new product that's completely different from. I want to be honest with you. I was at American Fire and Kansas City Barbecue Store. I
Mhm.
love those guys, and I tried a lot of products there because they have a wall full of stuff, and we have a new thing that's nobody has on the market. I've researched and looked, and I can't wait to share it with you. Is it safe to say we're going to run it in the holiday markets?
Yes.
Matter of fact, I was told to tell you that we're going to run it in the holiday markets only just to do like a small base test on it. It's going to take off, dude. It's totally different than anything else, and I can't wait to share with you. Maybe I can get back with you next year and we'll blast
Oh,
that out of the water. But
definitely, definitely.
we have our catering game down in Florida. Moved our LLC down to Florida we're just doing catering and our rub game. We've already booked a bowl game. We're going to cater for it in Mobile.
Ooh,
And then someone called me the other day about doing another one. So I don't know about that yet.
all right, I ain't mad at you.
I love doing those.
And if I handed your season to someone who doesn't do barbecue, what's the surprising food that they can use it on?
Pizza. That's how it started. My youngest son, he loves Jack's Pizza. I put it on Traeger. He'd go, Dad, put that dust on there you made. And it has such a high garlic content. It's amazing on Italian stuff. It's great
Mhm.
on Italian dishes. I put it on a bagel. It's great on fresh tomatoes, vegetables, and burgers.
Oh wow.
The surprising thing would be a Jack's or a frozen pizza.
I like the little. I guess they like the Jacks like little hot pocket looking things.
Yeah. Dad, put that dust on there. I'll never forget it.
It's good to have stuff that's versatile because majority of the people are backyard people, and that's what you're trying to sell for. Competition is nice, but that only make up a small percentage of people that's barbecuing, and also something that's versatility in the kitchen because that's the main part where everybody cooks at. So,
Yeah, we were at one point selling 25s, 25 pounders to other entities. We'd already entertained selling it to Cisco.
woo.
And I think we were at one point where Benny Keith was supposed to do something with it. But anyway, we have 25s of that too. And there's a huge demand for it.
And if you can give a few tips for someone wanting to start a food truck and a few tips for somebody wanting to cater, what would those tips be?
Get in there and shake hands, go meet businesses. The number one tip would be it's not a take game, it's a give and take. I
Mm.
gave tons and tons of food away, which I in turn reaped the rewards of it, of sowing that seed and then reaping the rewards of it because people knew our flavor profiles, what our food tasted like. When you're new to the food scene, people don't know what your food tastes like. And it's a hard sell sometimes because unless you give it to them for free, and
Mhm.
you have to be very mindful of that. And yes, it can be costly, but that would probably be the number one tip. You're going to have to give some freebies out there. And especially with the rub too, I gave a ton of
Mhm.
freebies away, and it just took off from there. It's just sowing a seed.
Yeah, I mean it's an investment because one person goes, "Hey, have you tried this?" And then the next, "Where can I get it from?" And then the next
Also,
person,
word of mouth, man. People told me I was a firm believer of doubling down on social media, and I did, and got return from it and conversions from it. But word of mouth and a community with a food trailer and catering and anything food service is going to get you way further than social media. Even though social media is where it's at, but the repeat customer will come back because of word of mouth.
yeah, definitely. Ain't gonna lie, to social media people are a little lazy sometimes.
That's a
You
hustle.
try
That's a hustle.
to,
And
you
props
try
to
to.
all my barbecue friends that do a post a day because man, it's tough. I'm sure you're doing what you do and getting content to put out what you do. It's tough sometimes, man, because there's a lot of production involved
Mhm.
in that. And but man,
And
it gets you into a different spot.
I definitely will. You just got to stick with it and go for it. They just say, don't look at the numbers, don't look at anything. Just keep grinding, and eventually it'll pay off because the right people will be looking at it. And the people that's meant for you, it might not be meant for everybody, but everybody has their own lane. And as long as you drive in your lane, you'll get to your destination. So,
Man, we need to start a podcast on how to start a food trailer because I'll just tell you, I have a friend that has another podcast, and the top one for years was when I was on there starting a food trailer. People are highly interested in it.
Rusty.
I'm talking about Rusty.
Yeah, I listened to that. And
Dude,
I'm
he would message me and be like, "Hey, man, you're still number one. Hey, a year would go by. Hey, your podcast still number one. Hey, man, that might be something both we need to do. Start a podcast on how to start a barbecue trailer.
that's what I was going. I asked, can I ask you back in a couple months? I want to do a hospitality master class.
Let's do it. I can tell you all about it. Matter of fact, I can tell you about the movement of it, the flow of it, and what I mean by that is what to cook, how to cook. Well, not how to cook. Everyone knows if it's in the barbecue game knows how to cook, but like the flow of it. What's going on in your community? during that day? What's going on in the weather? Weather was a major killer for us, especially on a food truck. If it rains, ain't nobody showing up. Or going to storm, especially in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of flow to that, a lot of being at partners like with factories and partnering up with different places. I can tell you, we ran analytics. I would show up at one place, run the numbers on it, and I knew exactly where to go, man. And we had it down to a science. And that's one of the things that got us really popular. It spread out our product on a big wide area, is what it did. And people got to come by and try it. And it's all about building those business relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a connection within the medical industry, like drug reps and device reps. And that's,
Hey, we can definitely do that.
you know what? Don't do this. I've done it, so don't do that. But just kidding. But that's a very interesting topic still with people. They want to know how to start a food trailer and how to build that repeat business and how to get those conversions. And it's all about, if you look at the basic marketing funnel, it's all about brand awareness and getting, I keep saying conversions, but that's where you get someone to buy something
Mm-hmm.
and learning how to obtain that in the food industry. So,
Okay. Yeah. When I heard the podcast, I was like, okay, this guy, he knows his stuff.
back 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I knew how to cook barbecue and I knew about customer service because as a nurse, there was a lot of customer service there. And I just put the two and two together. And I can remember saying, man, I just want to be like the Chick-fil-A of barbecue. I just want to have that amazing customer service that people would come back because of who we were and have amazing food. And that was
Mhm.
the core things that I honed in on. And it worked. So,
And another person that know their stuff that I had just recently talked to is Paul Buov, a smoking ghost. When it comes to rubs, he know his stuff, the ins and outs of the business of rubs. And I was like, okay, this man know what he talking about.
yes, I actually did a catering with Paul. We catered the NFL Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. I think it was last
Wow.
year. And we did a Bears thing. We got to meet Jim McMahon and some other stuff. But Paul has an amazing product line and he knows how to cook.
I will be hitting you up in a few months so we can get this together. I'm definitely serious about it. If you willing to do it, I want to break it down.
Because
So,
if you look at, let's get real, if you look at trends,
mhm.
Google Trends, that's a marketing thing. I've been working on my marketing degree while I've been here. And you can pull up Google Trends and see what people's looking for in search engines. And how to start a barbecue trailer is way on up there.
Because a lot of people are doing it now. They can be mobile and do different things. Would do it freedom instead of just
Yeah,
being in the building.
for yourself, it has its benefits and it has its downfalls. I always thought working for myself, man, I'm going to be my boss. But in reality, the customer's the boss. And
Mhm.
you always have to be mindful of that.
One of my favorite shows is the Great Food Truck Race. I watch it every season it comes out because it's so exciting.
I'm not going to lie, please don't take this the wrong way, but every time I watch it, I was like, man, I need on that show back. I'm telling you. And it's all about knowing where to go and knowing not where to go. So,
And here, a problem in Georgia is sometimes the gas stations be. I, the way I see it is you doing each other a favor, but they be trying to gouge the food trucks and charge these outrageous prices to park in their parking lot. But I'm like, the food truck is bringing traffic to your gas station, so well, why are you trying to gouge them like that?
it's a little bit different situation. Yes, we did pay to be certain places, but I was mostly like, hey, if you let me sit there for a day just to trial it out, I'll feed you family. Come by, get whatever you want. And man, if I did that, oh my goodness, I could set that trailer anywhere. And a lot of factories, like the factories begged for us to come out there. At the tail end, there's a major steel mill where we live at, or we're in Arkansas where we did live at. And man, they begged us to be out there every day. As a matter of fact, they asked us to take over their commissary kitchen. And I was like, dude, it's just, you got to pick and choose, man. But
Yeah.
very thankful I'll just give them a shout out, but Nucor Yamato Steel, and they were very nice to us. So
Yeah.
Nestle, we fed the whole factory. How
Oh,
much
wow.
was it, Tiffany? 1,500 people.
Ooh.
That's a lot of folks. We did a catering for 2,500. There's some big players in there, man. That's a lot of food, and that's a lot of ribs, by the way. I think on that big one, it was like 150 racks,
Oh,
just
wow.
ribs. There was other crap too, and oh my goodness, it was a lot. Oh yeah, we did a Thanksgiving meal for Nestle, and there was literally like 900, or was it 1,500? Oh, we did 3 shifts. I was there 3 different shifts.
Wow.
We had a great partnership with them.
See, that's how you tell your stuff when you're able to feed that amount of people. You got to know your stuff.
Dude, we got into doing all kind of stuff. I'd cook turkey on the smoker and use it for the protein portion of the Thanksgiving. And man, we were cooking dressing, all kind of conventional, classic Thanksgiving items. And man, they destroyed it. I'm telling you, it was. We had a transit van at the time with a ramp.
That's excellent. All right. That's all the questions I have just for today. But
Oh,
we will. When I get you back, we will. All right. I'm going to play these 2 games and get you out of here. And like I told you, I got a tournament bracket with 16 meats that you cook on the grill. Just let me know which one you prefer to eat, and we'll see which one's the winner. And then we'll go to the next game. All right. First matchup is beef ribs versus lamb.
beef ribs,
Okay. Next matchup, smoked ham versus smoked turkey.
smoked turkey.
All right. Next matchup is burnt ends versus hot dog. All right.
Oh, I like
Next,
it good.
pork ribs versus steak.
Ooh, dude, I'm going to go ribs.
Okay. Next matchup, smoked bologna versus brisket.
Ooh, everyone laughed behind me. I'm going to have to do brisket, man. That's a
Okay.
staple where I'm from, smoked bologna. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, bologna won a few times.
Oh,
You'd be surprised. All right. Barbecue shrimp versus sausage.
sausage.
All right. Pork chop versus smoked chicken.
I want to do pork chop.
All right. Pork belly versus hamburger.
Oh, pork belly.
Okay.
You can tell I come from a pork area. Seriously, different areas different, but pork was heavy there. Go ahead.
Yeah, pork is king in Georgia. All right, beef rib versus turkey.
Turkey.
Burn ends versus pork ribs.
Whew. I'm going to do burn ends.
Okay. Brisket versus sausage.
Brisket.
Pork chop versus pork belly.
Pork belly.
All right, final four. Turkey versus burn ends.
Do
All right, and brisket versus pork belly.
brisket. And then brisket. I love it. Man, even being in a pork area, I love brisket. And people loved it there.
Yeah, brisket is good if it's cooked right. I be telling people, nah, you ever had brisket until you had competition brisket. It's a whole different ball game. Or competition chicken.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I tasted Luke Darnell's chicken because I went to his class. I was like, that was the best chicken I ever tasted in the world.
I took a class with Richard, Fergalicious, and Smitty.
Mhm.
Dude, I couldn't hardly pick. And they did it 2 different ways. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't even want to say. They were both really good, though. I can see why they've won a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And he's just the king of classes.
Oh,
He everywhere teaching classes.
Richard was a teacher, and he's got the skill of teaching a class, and he knows how to put on an amazing class.
Yeah. Didn't he used to be a wrestling coach,
He
I
was.
believe?
Matter of
All
fact,
right.
can
Go
I tell
ahead.
you? I'm sorry, I got so many short stories.
I don't care. It's
First
your show.
pro rubbing tour was him. At the time, he worked for Kansas City Grill. And,
Yeah, yeah. He's out there teaching folks, and
yeah,
I love that he's out there showing people, giving people an opportunity to learn, going to different areas and stuff like that. And it giving people a chance to get out in their backyard that might have been scared to go out there and
Yeah,
barbecue. So it's a good thing that he's doing.
yeah.
All right. The next tournament I got is top Kansas City Chiefs players. I got them in a
You,
bracket,
you made
even
some
though
notes on this one. All right, let's go.
all right, you might have heard a few of them. All right, Derek Thomas versus Alex Smith.
Alex Smith.
All right. Christian Okoye versus Marcus Allen.
Oh, Koye, man.
I see you got a cheat guy in the background. Will Shields and Travis Kelsey.
Dude, I'm going to have to do Kelsey, man.
All right.
He's so popular. He's good.
Jamal Charles versus Eric Berry.
Eric Berry.
All right. Tony Gonzalez, Dante Hall.
Oh, no. Dude, I might have to do Tony.
Okay. Priest Holmes, Tyreek Hill.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes and Joe Montana in his brief 2 years there.
I'm Pat, man. I'm a Holmes fan.
All right. And Tamba Holly versus Derek Johnson, both linebackers.
Derek Johnson.
All right. Next round, Alex Smith versus Christian Okoye.
Koye.
Okay. Kelsey versus Eric Berry.
Travis.
Tony Gonzalez versus Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek.
Patrick Mahomes versus Derek Johnson.
Pat.
All right. Okoye versus Kelsey.
Dude.
Christian Okoye versus Kelsey.
Oh. Travis.
All right. Tyreek Hill versus Patrick Mahomes. All right. We're already writing that down. And, all right. Kelsey versus Mahomes. All right. All right. Patrick Mahomes is your winner.
Kermit.
All right. Jason, your therapy session is over. You can give your shout outs and your websites and social medias and everything like that.
I can't thank you enough, man. Thank you so much. I want to give a shout out because you've been hustling too, and it pays off, man. You have a great reputation, and I just appreciate you reaching out to me, man. So
No problem. No problem. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. And I see all you're doing. That's why I reached out and I was like, he can help somebody. So
and
I
I
definitely
hope someone starts the food trailer after listening to this and knowing that you can do it and starting a rub line and do catering. It's easily done, man. I'm telling you, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And you just got to put in the hustle, man.
definitely. And I definitely will be reaching out to see when you have free time because I definitely want to get with you and do something real thorough for people to just have so they can always come back to. And all right, we got this section here, we got this section here, and they can go right to whatever episode they want to go to and find out what they need to know.
You could do it in every section, and even down to the regulatory part of it, like dealing with health departments, because that's the number one. That's one of the top questions of how to manage dealing with the regulatory stuff. And it's pretty easy. It was difficult at the time because I didn't know what I was doing, but I can tell you on the backside of
If you can, I'm gonna email you, but you can give me your number. We can reach out and to each other, and I can get with you, and we can come up with the different categories and stuff like that for each one, and I'll get it together, and you have a series of your own, and I'll put it out.
I got
And go
enough
from there.
going on. Trust me. I work at a hospital as an administrator full time now, and I got enough going on with our rub and catering and stuff. So that's our website, traumahogs.com. So we shortened it up. Used to be traumahogsbbq.com, but sometimes it's easier to, when you revamp a website, to just create a whole new domain. I still own the other one, but everyone always called us Trauma Hogs anyway. So traumahogs.com, SPG's on there. And shout out to every store that carries our product, especially the guys. I don't want to shout out just one because, dude, there's so many. But thank you if you carry our product. And check out our website, traumahogs.com. So, if you're a trauma nurse, if you're a nurse, you should buy our SPG. No, just kidding.
You need everybody to buy it.
I know.
Everybody out there.
I say that at work all the time. We're a level 1 trauma center where I work at. Trust me, I pick on everyone there. So
yeah, I see you on TikTok a lot, so it's out there because when I flip through, I can see you on there and stuff like that. So you are circulating in the scrolls. So
someone told me this weekend, "Hey, we seen you back on Instagram." Yeah, I am actually.
that's what I saw that Kansas City Chiefs had. I was like, I'm ready for him today.
I heard that.
And then when I saw the cookie, I was like, okay.
I specifically went by Hy-Vee. That's a major brand supermarket there. Dude, you walk in a Hy-Vee in Kansas City, you're going to get bombarded with their stuff. Matter of fact, there's banners hanging from the ceilings. Chiefs. I love it. We was in heaven there, wasn't we, Tiff? I don't know if you've ever been in one. So
No, we don't have any down here. Just have Kroger's and Publix and
yeah, we
Food Depot. Yeah, so it's good. But I definitely appreciate you coming on, and I guess we'll see everybody next episode. We just wrapped up another session of barbecue therapy. Remember, stay patient, stay passionate, and keep that fire burning. Hit subscribe, share the good smoke, and pay the secretary on your way out. Have a blessed day.